And welcome back to The Dish with Chad and Chris.
You can't say your name twice.
I have many aliases. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back.
I was going to bite it, but then I didn't.
If it's your first time with us, thank you so much. Hope you enjoy it. If it's not your first time, welcome back.
I just realized your mustache looks really, really good right now.
Yeah, got a good baba. So, yeah. How was your day today, Mr. Ben?
It was grand. I had a very busy day today. I went into work and I had 3 appointments, and when I left work, I had 4 appointments. But I was busier today than any other day in this week. I helped a lot of walk-ins. I did a lot of work. What?
Nothing.
You're being a silly goose. I was very busy today. It was a great day. My arm looks really cool in this lighting, and I love it.
For those of you that don't know, Ben is a stylist at Burger King.
We actually like to call ourselves engineers. Flavor engineers. Yeah.
Yeah. Flavor engineer. Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just got my 3rd star. So
I'm called a beats doctor.
A beats doctor. In my brain, you had like a beet, like the vegetable, on a table, and you were cutting it open. Yeah. With an 11 blade. Yeah, you you look filthy.
I bought this shirt and it was like this.
I bought this shirt that was
This is one of my favorite shirts.
I do like that shirt. It's got Goofy Dog as a fireman.
It's very comfortable too.
What did you do today, you lazy bum? You locked yourself out of your house.
I thought I did.
I get a call at work.
Yeah, I took Nana to the groomer today.
She's incredible.
To the spa.
Should we insert a picture
From
of Nana
11
here?
to 2:30,
I don't know if I can do that,
2:40.
Golly.
Yeah, she had work done today. She looks fantastic.
That's crazy. She looks
breathtaking.
impeccable.
Yeah,
breathtaking.
I did that. I went to the grocer, Whole Foods. It was really nice. It was not super busy today, which was great.
Sick.
And I got a lot of
Whole
fun
Foods
stuff
on Sundays when we usually go.
I went to the.
I'm sorry, am I boring you?
Yes, I went to the tailor and picked up a suit that I had tailored, and then
Tailor Soldier Spy.
Came home, hung out with Carlos while we waited for Nana to get down at the spa, and in that time, we just kind of chillaxed, hung out, watched some TV, watched Platoon, which is a cult classic war movie.
Cult classic?
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's not like a classic.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what it would be considered, to be honest with you.
About movies.
Yeah, well, we've never talked about a military movie ever, I don't think.
We haven't.
Yeah, so... but, yeah, that was a good movie. I forgot about it. I haven't seen it in a really long time, so it was cool. It was like watching it for the first time, which was nice.
That's cool. I've never seen it.
It's good. It was good. And, excuse me. I'm just exhausted.
Cuckoo crazy town head.
What are we talking about today, Ben?
We're talking about a movie called Old Boy.
Young boy.
Young man.
Young man.
There's no big power with the young man.
That's not.
I'm a beautiful singer.
Right.
You know, people say that about me. They say, Ben, you have a beautiful singing voice.
Which people?
All
the names. Both of them.
Both of them.
Both of those people.
You officially don't get to look at my iPad this episode. You can pull up whatever heck that is.
I mean, I don't need it. I know what happened in that movie.
No, we're not doing that because you're going to go off on tangents. You can just pull it up on your phone, but
why do I have to do that? Why can't we just put it right here?
Whenever I give you a suggestion, you always yell at me and you say that I force you to do things.
When I was in I think it was either kindergarten or preschool, I was taught how to share.
I wasn't. I skipped that
That's
day.
obvious.
I was sick that day.
It's very obvious. Yeah.
But I did learn how to fight.
Misbehave, yes.
Misbehave.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me with the school that you went to.
What school did I go to?
Go ahead.
What school did I go to?
We're getting kind of off track.
The heat just turned on and it scared the goodness out of me. We're watching a movie called Old Boy. This is not the original Korean film because we decided that we watched one wildly graphic, depressing Korean movie this season. So we're going to break it up and we watch the American remake. It's from 2013. It's a crisp hour and 44 minutes long. It's not streaming anywhere.
Josh Brolin is in it.
Josh Brolin is in it. Homegirl.
Michael Imperioli is in it. Who is Christopher from Sopranos.
Homegirl. Olsen.
Yep. Samuel Jackson is in it.
Samuel L. is in it. I'm going to pull up the
yeah.
IMDb page.
I don't remember who the main bad guy is. I don't remember the actor's name. But
I
he's in a lot
don't
of things
remember
too.
it either.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
How long ago?
Anyways,
it's not streaming anywhere, unfortunately, but it's a great movie.
it's a good movie.
Elizabeth Olsen. Scarlet Witch. She's in this movie.
Yeah. It's a good movie and worth a watch. It's a good remake. I don't even know if I don't want to call it a remake because they didn't have the same endings. So it's like another
Inspired
version of it. Yeah, I guess. But it's really well done. It holds up well.
Definitely.
It's very entertaining.
It's crazy.
It's hard to fathom. It's kind of insane. But yeah.
Do you want to hit us with a synopsis of the movie?
I would love
Tell us what it's about.
to do that for you. Just for you.
Hit it.
Obsessed with revenge, a man sets out to find out why he was kidnapped and locked into solitary confinement for 20 years without reason.
Crazy.
Yeah, 20 years.
This man.
That's a long time in
Dude.
one room. That's like, if you think about it too, like even people serving a life sentence get an hour of rec time typically. And they get to like leave their cell still. They get to like, walk around.
They get to
and
walk
do things,
around,
yeah.
interact with other people. Like no one's
Eat
in
together.
solitary.
Like, yeah.
And that's the thing, dude. Solitary confinement for 20 years.
It's the worst type of torture, yeah, for a human, I think. Yeah.
To break that up a little bit, do you want to hear some fun facts about the movie?
Yes.
So this movie was directed by Spike Lee, and Spike Lee said that his version of the film was 140 minutes long, mostly character buildups and interactions, but the studio heavily edited it down to 104 minutes, cutting out over 30 minutes of footage, obviously because that's how math works. Lee disowned the film as a result. This is why the film opens with a Spike Lee film instead of his more personal trademark, a Spike Lee joint. Josh Brolin went on record by saying that he preferred Spike Lee's version of the movie. Honestly, that would have been nice. It would have broken it up a little bit. This is kind of like a very cut and dry, like very fast, very bold, very gory movie.
They start pretty fast.
It could have been a little more,
finessed.
Yeah. It really kind of just popped right in and was wild as heck.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here are some actors that were offered some of the roles. So the lead character, what's his name? Joe Doucette. He's played by Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin does a great job. He's a very convincing. He's a like crazy alcoholic, like really bad father, like a lot of craziness in this movie. He does a great job. He's a very good actor. Two actors that were offered the lead role that turned it down. Did you read these?
No.
Okay, cool.
You told me not to.
And I thank you so much. Finally, someone's listening to me. First one was Will Smith. How do you feel about that?
I don't think he would do that.
He's a great actor. I don't think this is a role for him.
I don't think it'd be believable.
Yeah. Funny enough, we were just talking about him this morning. Daniel Craig was also offered the role.
Craig. Yeah. He wouldn't have done that
He would not have done that well. I don't think so. I love him as an actor. This is not his movie, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's
that's
hard to, honestly, the main thing is not necessarily him playing like him after Escape, it's before that I wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Imagine like Will Smith acting like a belligerent alcoholic on the street. It just wouldn't.
I mean, wasn't he like he played Venus and Serena's dad, and he was kind of wild in that movie.
Yeah, but he goes like over the top with that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been either, I don't know. It just doesn't. Again, it's not genuine. It doesn't feel like, I don't know. He's good in other stuff.
For sure.
Yeah.
Christian Bale, Colin Firth, and Clive Owen were all offered the role of Adrian, the main antagonist, but they all declined as well.
Ooh, Colin Firth would have been awesome.
Which one's Colin Firth?
Colin Firth is the main
Penguin?
guy in Kingsman.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
That would have been, I don't know.
I like him. I think he would be an okay James Bond.
I don't think he's like slimy enough. He would be an okay James Bond.
I think
He's
he
too
would
old.
be a Roger Moore James Bond.
He's too old.
Yeah. I know.
They're looking. Did you see there was like a release? They're looking for someone in their 30s, and for someone who is, they're looking for somebody in their 30s and who is willing to agree on a decade of films.
10 years.
10 years, which that's about as long as Daniel Craig signed.
Yeah, but if you think about it, that's probably at most it's 5 movies.
Then that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a movie every 2 years. You can't do anything else during that.
Movies,
yeah, like you literally do the movie, you're on break for a couple weeks, and then you're back in training. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. The female lead, who is played by Elizabeth Olsen, was offered to Rooney Mara and Mia Wasikowska. Homegirl from Fifth Element, isn't that her?
No. Mila Jovovich is from The Fifth Element.
Who is this person? Oh, the girl from Alice in Wonderland and Crimson Peak.
It is. Yeah. Totally.
Ooh, that would have been cool.
Yeah,
I like her.
Crimson Peak, isn't she?
I like her a lot. I've never seen that, but it
was okay.
I like her as an actor. That would have been really cool.
I mean, they did a good job. Like, I feel like
no, I think the casting is
Elizabeth
good.
Olsen did
She's a very good actress, and she does a very good job in this movie.
She's very good.
She's an actor. Excuse
me.
Me.
Beats the heck out of her sisters. Oh my!
She does what? About the what?
I thought she beats the heck out of her sisters.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays they got like a clothing company or something, and she's in Marvel, dude. Yeah. She's set for life.
She's OG. Okay, yeah. Well,
those are my fun facts. I'm gonna hit you with some part one. I'm gonna hit you with the part one here.
Oh, you're okay.
We're jumping right in. Yeah, I was gonna do that because you did part one and part three last week. So I got you. I got you. So. Movie starts off, we meet Joe Doucette, our main character. He is an unsympathetic salesman, is how AI described him, which is true.
He is.
He's a bastard.
He's a turd.
Like, he is a deadbeat father. He is a womanizer. He's just really not the best kind of guy. Basically, they kind of like set the scene. They show that he's kind of like a good for nothing.
Reckless.
Very.
Yeah.
And then on like a drunken like rage, he ends up getting kidnapped and wakes up in basically like a hotel room. It's like a 1-room hotel room, and it's got like a bathroom, but there's no windows. There's a huge window, but it has this like rotating picture that when it's daytime, it has like a daytime picture of this farm. And when it's nighttime, it's a nighttime picture of the same farm. But that's the only way he can tell that time is moving. There's a TV. There's like 3 channels, so not a lot. And it's just like him. He has no interaction with anybody. This little door on the bottom of his door opens up 3 times a day, and he gets meals. And with every single meal, they give him a 5th of vodka.
No water. Nothing like that. And it's interesting because in the beginning, it's the 5th of vodka, or it's a pint. It's a mini pint.
It's like a pint? I don't know.
And it's a pint of vodka, and it's, at first it's varying foods, and then over time, it ends up becoming just these dumplings, these like Asian dumplings.
Yeah.
And it's always those for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting. And it's interesting because if we back up a little bit for a minute, he's like a severe alcoholic. So like he's like, when he gets abducted, he's like in the street drunk at like 2 a.m, like, alone.
Yeah.
No one is on the street. It's not like he's like partying and like he's literally by himself, like talking to himself.
Like 3 or 4 in the morning, very early.
And vomits like on the street when he's laying there passed out. Like he does, as much as, so them giving him that like pint of vodka, I feel like is just like another like knife to drive in. Like it's like, yeah, you know what? Like just be an alcoholic and just die.
You're just here.
Wither
this
away
is what's
here.
going to happen to you.
Yeah. And it's just like a wild thing because he keeps drinking it.
Oh yeah,
like you know what I mean. Pop quiz.
I see what you did there.
See what I did?
Be nice to me this year.
I'm gonna be so nice to you. In Russia,
oh gosh,
medical professionals have a unique way of treating alcoholism. This is real.
Beat them to death.
Okay, which one is it? Ready?
Gosh. Like nowadays or historically?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It's definitely those. It's okay, ready?
It's definitely those.
A, it's put patients in a medically induced coma till they are free of impulses. B, use and insert an implant under the patient's skin that causes severe illness when they drink alcohol. C, a modern day version of electroshock therapy. Patients are shown photos, and if some contain alcohol, they get shocked.
I'm so sick of
D,
shock therapy.
I know, it's crazy that's used so much. Many doctors in Russia, this is D,
Yeah.
believe that alcohol or vodka is not an addictive substance. In fact, it has healing properties. They say that can actually help prevent alcoholism.
Honestly, it sounds like number 4 because they're just like, yeah, dude, it's vodka. It's not alcohol. It's vodka.
Number
wish
4, it's D. First of all, I did A, B, C, and D. Have you ever taken a test in your life?
when you were reading, you were talking like this, so I highly doubt
So you don't
anyone
know
could
how
hear
to-
on the microphone.
I think they
So
could.
I have my BT. I'm sorry. 1 second. What?
Let's try to act like adults for a second.
Let's
okay?
try to speak into the microphone for a second.
All right.
D. D sounds about right.
Okay.
I want to say for the plot, I'm going to say D.
Okay, no, that's wrong.
I was right.
No, it
Which
was
one?
it was B.
The implant under the skin?
A small capsule is inserted under the skin, which is designed to cause severe reaction when alcohol is consumed. Even after the tiniest sip of alcohol, the individual will experience serious side effects that can only be compared to symptoms of heroin withdrawal.
But they're still going to go through withdrawals of alcohol.
I know.
That is so foolish.
No. I don't know.
I don't like that.
Can't argue with the facts. Sure, yes.
You know,
Continue.
I never would have thought I would have been at odds with Russia's medical society. So he's in the room. It's 20 years. He's going through. There is a TV show. There are like multiple TV shows, and there's this one TV show where it's like unsolved mysteries and stuff. And on that show, they're basically kind of like showing a TV show talking about Joe Doucette and like his mysterious disappearance, and they end up, God bless you.
Thank you.
They end up saying that his wife got murdered, and they believe Joe is the murderer because he like went into hiding. They can't find him because he was kidnapped, and they're like, oh my gosh, like he murdered his wife. He went on the lam. Like, where did he go? He completely disappeared. He must be dead. What's going to happen to his daughter? And like basically this show, like over these 20 years, keeps like showing like glimpses like, oh, remember Joe Doucette? He killed his wife. Here's how his daughter's doing. And it keeps getting played to him. And he basically watches his daughter grow up. And like she gets adopted, she starts playing the cello. Like she's just like, you know,
It also does this really cool thing though, where it shows every time a president is inaugurated, and it's to give you another. They very strategically place the shows on the TV so that like he is aware of like the passing of time.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I think it just has like a news like station. Like it's like basic cable, so it's like 4 stations. One always has the Unsolved Mysteries one. One's the news. One's this workout video. And
Right.
like they just do this kind of stuff. Like he's just like, he has very limited access, but very controlled access to what he's seeing. But yeah, I'm going to say like the beginning of the movie is maybe 10 to 20 minutes long, but it accurately shows 20 years. And
Right.
like he has a really hard time. He tries to kill himself a couple times, like every single time, like basically tries to kill himself. The entire room fills with gas, and then he wakes up, his hair's cut, he's freshly shaven, he's in brand new clothes, and he's all bandaged
He
up.
has like stitches.
And he's like, what the heck? So like, yeah, he's just kind of like losing it. He's really having a hard time. So he ends up, he's just like, you know what? I'm getting off the sauce. I'm going to really start taking care of myself, and I'm going to start writing my daughter letters. So he starts writing letters to his daughter, like trying to be like, you know, hey, I messed up. Like nothing that they're saying happened is true, but I really wasn't there for you. You don't know who I am because I never made myself available to you. So like, it's just really tough. Like this is what's going on and stuff. So he's like, you know, working out. He's just trying to get himself better. And he like really weirdly like tattoos his hand every year. It's like these nasty, like
it's super
bold
weird.
lines. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
He's got like a ballpoint pen that he shoves in a radiator and then like sticks under his skin,
Yeah,
and it's a
it's
tattoo.
super weird.
Not how
Yeah.
tattoos work,
Yeah,
but
it's
whatever.
very strange.
So after 20 years, he ends up like breaking out. He gets out. They capture him again, but then they like let him go immediately. And he basically wakes up in this trunk in the middle of this field.
Yes.
And he's like, what the heck just happened? He's got, was it like a bag full of cash?
Oh, yeah. He has like $10,000.
Yeah, bag full of cash and a cell phone.
Yeah.
And like a suit. He's freshly shaved, good to go.
Yeah.
He just let him out. So it says here, given a cell phone with his daughter's picture as well as a countdown timer. Basically, like he has to figure out, like
he doesn't know yet really what he has to do.
Yeah, he has no idea what's going on.
If you think about it too, like it's been 20 years, he doesn't even know what the cell phone really even is.
True.
I mean, really, like he doesn't even, you know what I mean? Like, he
cell phones. Like, I think it's an iPhone.
That's
it's like an early
saying.
iPhone.
Yeah,
and
so he would have. And
if it's 20 years before that,
or 2013.
Yeah, 2013. So 20 years before that's 1993.
Yeah. It's like, so.
Dude, he had I was about to say he had no idea the Twin Towers got hit. He did. He watched it on the news. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So yeah, he's just like trying to live through his life. He is suddenly thrust back into like, present day. And like as like he sees this woman, she has like a little umbrella. She's like walking away from where he's at, and he's like, "What the heck?" He's like trying to get her attention. They run onto a football field. These football guys are trying to be like macho, and they're like, "Hey man, leave her alone." He just decimates them.
Oh yeah,
like out of nowhere, he's just like
he's
snapping
had a lot of
them.
time to build a lot of strength.
He's got brute strength and a lot of attitude,
a lot of rage. Yes.
So he just beats this poor football team to pulp.
This high school football team.
Literally, these poor children. Like keeps trying to find this woman, ends up like running. He sees the umbrella in this line to this like mobile hospital, like urgent care. So he runs up. It's not the woman. The woman gave the umbrella to somebody else. He starts freaking out. And then this nurse comes up, played by Elizabeth Olsen. Her name is Marie. She like kind of sees what's going on. He has like a psychotic episode. So she like helps get him all fixed up, like gets him healed up and starts talking to him. And basically, did you just take that out of the stand?
No.
Stop it. And it's like, you know what? This sounds like crazy. He kind of explains what happens. She's like, all right, let's figure this out. Let's help you out. She's like totally down to help. She's like, all right, here we go. We're going to figure this out. I got you.
Yeah.
Which leads me to a question here. If you were framed the same way Joe was, you just got kidnapped, you're put in that room, like they frame you for murder and all this stuff. Let's say your daughter's out there. Are you watching the show telling you about your daughter? Like, do you want to see updates about the daughter?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You wouldn't just be like, I can't do this. Like, there's nothing I can do to get out.
No, because it would be like, it would be the only connection to the outside world that you have. Yeah. So yeah, it would be like, I think if anything, it would be critical for you to like have that,
to hold
for you
on
to
that.
have something to like actually survive. Yeah.
You don't think it would just like make you like way sadder?
No.
Okay. It would light that fire?
Yeah, I think so. What about you?
Ugh,
You'd just be a depressed mess.
I'm bad at these hypotheticals. You know me. I mean, if I thought there was a feasible possibility of me getting out of there, yeah, I want something to keep me going. But like the second I'm like, you know what, I give up. I'm not turning the TV on. Yeah, I'm laying in that bed and seeing how long it takes for me to just.
You just rot. They would literally put like tubes in you and stuff and feed you and like you just
I'd be real bummed. They gave me the dumplings and I'm like, do you have any vegan options?
Yeah, dude.
I'd have to eat meat again.
That's gnarly.
It's
interesting because
sorry. Go ahead.
Because what I was saying earlier, so Joe had the same food for 20 years.
Yeah.
These dumplings, which actually they look really delicious
good.
actually. Yeah. But if you had anything right for 20 years, probably twice a day or twice a day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ugh. But anyways, like Joe's out. He's like, I need to figure out what's going on. He still hasn't gotten any contact really over his cell phone. So he's just kind of he's left with his cell phone that he has no idea what it really is. And it also is counting down. And it's like just like a timer for nothing, basically. For now, yeah. And he's like, all right, well, like I'm going to figure out who did this stuff to me.
Yeah.
Because he's all upset, obviously.
Understandably so.
And he's had 20 years to kind of prepare for that. So he does something that's pretty unique, I think, but makes sense. So he ends up figuring out like, well, I got to figure out where they get that food from.
Yeah.
Because obviously they don't make it. You know what I mean? It's in like a
They're not making it in-house. Yeah, it has like the Chinese takeout boxes.
And so basically like he goes on like this journey, let's say locally, to like all these Asian restaurants trying their dumplings. And like because he knows exactly how they taste because he's had them literally
them
for
every day for
2
decades.
decades. Yeah. So he keeps trying them, and it's funny because like it's hard for him. Like he doesn't like them, so he'll like spit them out. It'll make him vomit because he has trauma from everything. So it's just like really intense, and I think he has PTSD. So it just like makes him feel gross. But he stays vigilant, you know, and he keeps doing it, and eventually he lands the right one.
Which is why when he finds it, he eats the whole plate.
Yeah, because I think it was just like he was so excited that he was like he finally did it.
I eat a lot of food.
And it would be weird because if you didn't eat that for so long and then like it'd been a day or two and you didn't eat that or even like a week, it would be really like interesting to have it again because you're like, ooh, I need this.
My gosh.
But yeah, so he ends up like figuring it out, and then he basically follows this guy, this like worker that works for this organization that locked him up. Like he's apparently in charge of the food transportation, and
he was like picking up the order.
Yeah, so he just kind of waited there and just ends up following this guy, and he lo and behold ends up leading him right to the proper spot that he was at before.
Yeah.
Turns out that the caretaker is Samuel L. Jackson, and he has a weird lip ring and a mohawk that's blonde.
Sometimes it's blonde.
And basically, he kind of tortures him quite a bit for information because he wants to know who did this.
Yeah, who locked him up, yeah.
Because basically, like, he comes to find out that, like, this is a place where, like, people pay for, like, whatever you want. So they'll pay for, like, you to be captured and stay there for however amount of time that they pay them for. It could be a year, it could be 20 years, it could be 50 years, it could be forever.
They show it like whoever captured him like prepaying is like, yep, I want him in there for 20 years.
Yeah, you know.
Which is crazy.
Which is wild. Yeah, like and they take care of him for the 20 years. Like I said, like Ben was saying, like they don't let any harm befall him, really. Yeah. Like they torture him, but psychologically, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they keep him fed, they give him facilities, they give him clean clothes, they take care of him, but yeah, that's like all you can do now.
Exactly. So he kind of like has an idea of who the captor is. The guy's name is Adrian, and he has a vendetta against him and challenges Joe to like uncover the reason why. So basically, like at this point, he does get contact on the phone, and it's this guy that's talking to him, and he's like, it seems to be very important to like the bad guy in the story that Josh Brolin is like accountable for his actions. Like he wants to know, he basically wants him to like understand why things like this are happening to him and to take accountability for like something that Joe did that like he doesn't like realize that he did basically in like in the past, you know what I mean?
Which is crazy.
Yeah. So and they're basically saying they're kind of holding his daughter over his head like a piece of cheese. You know, they're basically saying like, you know, until you figure this out, you're not going to see your daughter again. We have your daughter, and they kind of tease him with that too, with like her looking beaten
like
up and
a
like
lot. So brutally.
You know, So you want, you know, it's intense. And it's interesting because like through him like learning all this stuff, this movie kind of like just unpeels like an onion.
Very much so.
So it just keeps unraveling and unraveling and unraveling. So then he ends up finding out basically that this guy was like a former student with him when he was in school, like when he was a little like a young guy. Yeah. And he like was ridiculed by Joe and his friends, and basically Joe did something really like awful to his sister, essentially spreading rumors about her, not even rumors, but like saying things about her that he shouldn't have been saying, let's say.
He witnessed some wild stuff and did not keep it to himself.
Exactly. So he kind of spreads all these rumors, and like basically you know, we don't want to get too far into it. Basically, like, you know, there's a lot of like sexual assault like in the house. But it's like, I don't want to say it's consensual.
It's Stockholm
It's
syndrome.
strange. Yeah, like it's strange. They have a strange. Let me say it this way. They have both of the children have a very strange relationship with their dad. Let's say that. Okay. Joe, when he's a kid, walks in on that relationship like kind of just like being administered.
Yeah, he unfortunately sees that relationship
and he is
in action.
he's a kid and he's like a dumb kid, so he of course tells everyone at school, what happened, not knowing the damage that would end up, inflicting, you know what I mean? So it's just like that, one of those, just like I said, you're near a kid, and you have to keep in mind, like, the guy has been basically, like, the guy's been a prisoner of war basically for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, so like he's been missing, like, and that's the other thing, like, they're like also adamant. He's like, Joseph just killed his wife, his daughter, gets adopted by a nice family. She's playing the cello and whatever, and Joseph is on the lam. Like,
they can't find him. Like, he's disappeared.
Yeah, like he's at large. You know what I mean? So he's a missing person, basically. Ugh. Like, so, and that's the thing is, even when he does go to see Michael Imperioli, Christopher, his friend, his good friend, he doesn't even recognize him. Like, he doesn't even know who he is. Like, and they're like face to face. Because of how long he's been missing for. Pop quiz.
I love your transitions into the pop quiz.
Yeah, I have to get you.
This one I'm going to get 100% right.
I think you might get it.
Cool. What was Michael Imperioli's character's name on The Sopranos?
This pop quiz is... I'm going to start telling you the titles that I write.
Sit in a chair, right?
Okay, so they'll do that. That'll be funny. So I titled my pop quizzes, everybody, so like that I know when it's ready to go. So I had it ready in the bank. Yeah. So this one is called Missing Persons.
Oh gosh.
How many missing persons cases that are still open in the United States? So they're never,
how many open missing persons cases are there in the United States? God, billions.
A, 200,000. B, 700,000. C, 500,000. I rounded this, by the way.
You're good.
Okay. And D is 350,000. So 2, 7, 5, 350.
I think it's 500,000 people.
You're correct.
Yeah, I am. What did I say?
You said 500,000.
And I said I was going to be right.
Whoa. In 2022, the number of open missing persons cases in the United States equaled 546,568 cases. In the U.S., a child goes missing every 40 seconds, which is over 2,100 children a day.
Absolutely not.
Oldest missing person case is Marvin Clerk. He left his home October 30th, 1926, to meet his daughter in Portland and never arrived. People go missing for a variety of reasons, including...
Do they think he's still alive?
He's still missing. Yeah.
Cut your losses. I'm so sorry, family, but wow.
People go missing for a variety of reasons, including mental illness, misadventure, miscommunication, domestic violence, and being the victim of a crime.
Misadventure. That was one of the causes of death in that SVU episode we watched.
Yeah.
Misadventure. What I mean, honestly, how did he die? Misadventure. That's crazy.
Yeah. People are often found quickly. The overall percentage of people that stay missing is close to 1%. That's
really?
But that's still a large number.
Oh, yeah.
With 6,000 out of 600,000 people going missing and staying that way.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's a lot. Yeah.
That's so sad.
I wrote this on my thing just because I was... So if anyone is ever interested, if you're just like a weirdo like me, I was doing research on this question, so it ended up landing me on like the FBI website, which is literally fbi.gov. That's all. It's like a very easy
Short
website.
to the point.
But the interesting thing is anybody can go on there and you can see like their most wanted. You can see missing persons. You can look up people. You can read everything about them too. Like any missing persons, they'll tell you exactly how they went missing, when the last person that saw. They'll tell you all the information. It's pretty interesting. And they also even have like terrorism. They have like all these people. Like so you can just like look up these like really gnarly like bad people.
Terrorism, cybercrime, counterintelligence, public corruption, civil rights.
Yeah, and it's pretty wild. So, that's the guy that I told you about. that was on the billboard.
Donald Eugene Fields.
But yeah, so and the interesting thing is like a lot of these people, because I'm weird, so I've looked at these a few times, and I would say there's 3 people on that list that I've seen and that have been there for at least 2 to 3 years, which is that guy, that one,
Yeah, he looks old
and
as
that
can
guy.
be.
But yeah, it was actually pretty interesting. So if you're ever interested in just kind of like not sleeping at night, knowing that there are people around that can do terrible things, then go on FBI.gov. It's free for everybody. So yeah. Anyways,
This is wild.
yeah, I know. He looks.
What did he do?
I think he's
Flores
drugs.
has ties to Honduras.
Yeah.
What did he do? Unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, kidnapping, and murder.
Oh, jeez.
Oy vey.
Anyways, so
What a guy. What about this guy? This guy's last name is Innocent, so I think we should just take him as it
he's
is.
probably fine then, right?
He's probably innocent. Conspiracy to commit hostage taking, conspiracy to commit hostage taking resulting in death, attempted hostage taking resulting in death. So
He killed the hostage, basically. Yeah.
He was born in Haiti. He was born in 86. He's 5'7" to 5'10".
Okay.
Eyes, brown. He's got beautiful brown eyes. All right, let's
So,
get done with this.
yeah. Anyways, so that was my deep dive into that one. Interesting though. Interesting for everyone involved. So yeah. So that's the end of part 2.
Well, I got
Basically-
a question about part 2 for you.
Okay.
What's the craziest thing that happened at your high school while you were in high school?
In my high school.
Yeah. I got stories on stories, dude.
I went to a Catholic private high school, so
You have
not a
crazier
lot.
stories than most.
We have a few times we've had kids that have fought and gone through like windows of the school. We had that happen a few times.
Crazier? No, that's pretty crazy.
And we also had at a basketball game.
Yeah.
We had a fight at the basketball game, and the kid's dad ran down and punched the kid.
Perfect.
We had that.
Did you witness that?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
And trying to think of other things.
If you want, I got a couple wild ones.
Go ahead.
So we had a couple people that would get like pregnant while they're in high school, and then they were asked to leave the school.
Oh.
Yeah, can't be pregnant at a Lutheran high school. They were asked to leave. There's this one crazy thing that happened. I think it was my sophomore or junior year. I think it might have been junior year, maybe senior year. At the homecoming dance, there was this girl that was like flashing guys for money. She was in the middle of the dance floor, and she would like flash guys for money.
Oh.
Which, like, yeah, that's crazy, no big deal. But the computer lab teacher at our school, he was also like the photographer for the yearbook. And after like, you know, major events and dances and stuff, he would post photos from it on the school website.
Sure.
And right after homecoming, he would put his camera on like a light pole, and he'd set a timer, and he'd put the camera up really high so it'd take a big picture of the whole dance floor. The picture that he chose to put on the school website that was up there for probably a week or two, literally in the middle of it, if you looked close enough, you could see this person with her dress down, a minor, her dress down, and 2 people holding cash in front of her. And it was up on the website for like a week or two. And everyone knew about it, and it stayed up there for a while.
But that's also awful.
Dude. There were 2 girls that fought each other in the library over whether or not one of them had an abortion. We had a lot of Czech exchange students, but we only got them. They didn't get us.
Oh.
And we had a lot of Koreans, South Koreans.
We
at
had
our
a lot of
school.
Koreans.
Yeah.
As well, yeah.
The Czechs all fought. They all came here to play hockey.
Oh, yeah.
So they all came. They were playing hockey in like a Michigan league, and they were pretty good. But this little fella, I can't remember his name. I think it was Tony or Tommy. But he fought like people like crazy. Like someone was talking smack about him. He just sucker punched him in the back of the head and took him down and just started waylaying him. It was after school. And it was right out front. And like he just beat the snot out of him and left.
Yeah.
I don't think he came back to school after that.
Probably not. Yeah.
I don't know if he went back to Czech Republic, but
His parents are like, we need to get you out of the country.
it's like, we got to get you back here. you assaulted a little American boy.
One of these Lutheran rich kids.
Seriously. Yeah, dude, we had wild stuff going on at our school. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's like interpersonal stuff with like my friends, but I'm not going to tell like my friends' business. This is just like strangers' business.
And we have people that have died. We've had like that kind of stuff.
Did we have anybody
too.
die?
Yeah.
I don't think we had anybody die.
Yeah, we've had a few.
Gosh, there's a lot. There's a lot of things that I want to say, but I know like I'm only like 2 or 3 times removed from these stories, so I know this would like get back to the people that I'm talking about. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep this to myself. I'll tell you some after.
Yes.
Off the air.
Whoa, off the air.
Off the air.
Whoa.
But yeah, that's all right.
Why don't you land us
Drama.
gently into part 3, huh?
Let's do it, huh?
Yeah.
So, Joe, after like realizing and remembering who Adrian is, he discovers that Adrian staged his imprisonment as retribution for his family's downfall. So basically, like, it comes out that there is this inappropriate relationship between Adrian's father, Adrian, and his sister. And at one point, Adrian's father kind of like feels the noose kind of tightening up.
The
and he's
pressure.
Like, oh.
Yes.
So he ends up murder-suiciding his whole family.
Yeah.
So shoots his daughter, kills her immediately. Shoots his wife, kills her immediately. Shoots Adrian,
Wings him.
near death.
Yeah, he wings him.
And then shoots himself and falls onto him and dies.
Yeah.
So Adrian gets out of it. He like survives, and then he just blames all of this on Joe. And he's like, all right, this is it. I'm like done with this.
Yeah, like he was like bummed about that. Like,
Yeah.
which is like interesting. Yeah, because like his dad is like a sexually abusive,
Oh, for
vicious
sure.
parent.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's like, yeah.
it's very similar to Girl with the Dragon Tattoo when he talked about that. Like one of the dads, like he was like abusing his children.
Yeah.
And then when Harriet, the daughter, kills her father to like escape him, Martin, her brother, just like takes over. And he's like, all right,
Yeah.
Dad's dead. I am him now.
Yeah.
Which is like, again, the amount of like manipulation and just like mental destruction that happens after that
Sure.
just like really changes a person.
Definitely.
But throughout all of this, while like Joe is going through, Marie's by his side the whole time. Marie's like helping out, following him. They're getting closer and closer. They're really kind of getting into this. She's like in it to win it. She's like really trying to help him out. And they, obviously, as a man and woman do, as they're working together, they get a lot closer. They end up forming a relationship, a sexual relationship. And finally it comes to a head and he's like, listen, like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to go confront him. Like, I'm going to make this happen. Like, you stay here, you stay safe. I'm going. So Joe confronts Adrian and he's like, why are you doing this? What's going on? Like, I figured it out. This is who you are. Like, tell me what's happening. And this entire time, like, Adrian basically, like, while he's going through this, he like shows up at Adrian's house and Adrian's like, all right, let's go. I'll tell you what happened. He starts leading him through this like hallway and it ends up kind of like walking through almost like this like TV studio. And he's like, what the heck? Like, what is going on? And you start noticing in the background, like, okay, that's like the news desk. So like, that's where like all the stories are revealed that like Joe killed his wife and like his daughter is like being raised by these people. Wait a second, that's the living room where her adopted parents were like interviewed. And wait a second, that's the desk at the like Untold Stories show where they kept talking about everything. It's like, what is going on? Was this all fabricated? Like, what's going on? And then like they turn another corner and they see Joe's daughter. She's like behind this glass pane. She's playing the cello. She's just there.
She's got a black eye.
She's beat to all goodness. She's just playing the cello. She's playing the piss out of the cello.
Yeah.
And Joe runs up and he's like, baby, what's her name?
Craig.
I can't remember his daughter's name. But he's like screaming his daughter's name. He's like, oh my gosh, Abigail. Let's say Abigail. Abigail. And he's like trying to get her attention. She's just, again, shredding the cello.
Yeah, she's just...
Adrian just goes like, all right, Samantha, that's enough. She stands up, walks away, and he's like, what? Samantha? That's my daughter. That's Abigail. Like, what are you talking about? He goes like, that's not your daughter. Like, no way that's your daughter. He's like, what? Like, his life is being shattered again in front of his eyes. And like slowly they start showing this like footage of his daughter, like back when he remembers her. Yeah. He shows like this unseen footage. She's growing up, she's getting older and older, and while she's getting older, you're like, oh man,
Yeah.
that looks like Marie. So it turns out, as Adrian's like grand scheme of revenge, he basically put Joe with his daughter, knowing 2 + 2 = 4, and basically caused him to assault his daughter.
Yeah.
And it's really, really, really not good.
He had sex with his daughter and didn't know. And then he did know.
Doesn't make it better.
And then he knew.
And then he
And then he
quickly
knew.
found
And it
out.
made
And
it-
he put 2 together to make 4.
It's terrible.
And his reaction is poor.
Yeah.
Adrian-
As it should be.
Adrian checks himself out. He's like,
Adrian's like,
my work here is done.
Adrian
Pow.
basically lived his life's workout and sees no point in living anymore.
He's like, all right, I'm out.
Okay.
Kills himself.
Just without hesitation. Yeah.
Joe obviously has a really hard time with that. And he decides the way to make this right is, as a reward from Adrian from figuring all this stuff out, he gets $20 million in diamonds, just like cut diamonds. So he gives some diamonds to Marie with a note that says, hey,
Forget about me.
we had a blast. Literally forget I exist.
Yeah.
Like, just scrub me from your mind.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't force her to unfortunately realize what happened. He's just like, hey, fun while it lasted.
We're good.
Have a
Yeah.
great summer. I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
literally never think of me again.
Yeah.
And then he gives the rest of the diamonds to Samuel L. And he voluntarily goes back into solitary confinement to live out the rest
Yeah,
of his
like
days.
as a penance, basically.
The movie ends with him just looking right into camera, smiling. Fade to black. Fade to black.
Bats. To bats.
Bats. That's not what bats sound like. That's a mourning dove.
Yep, there you go. Nah, man. I like mine better.
We're just trying to laugh about this fucking
we're
horrible
trying-
movie. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Ansu. I'm sorry, Ansu. This horrible movie. I'm sorry. Yeah. Devastating. Anyone who follows us on Instagram, I warned y'all, okay? I put the story up. Everything is severe.
It's a great movie, though.
It's a great movie.
It's
I honestly-
so intense. It's so intricate. You know,
I
it's
want
so
to
intricate.
watch. I want to show you something really quick on Instagram. I really want to watch the Korean version.
Yes, it's great.
Just because, like, I just want
It's a good one.
want to watch
Very
more.
good. Just for those who maybe were curious, yeah, like I said before, the Korean one has a different ending, which I will not spoil on here.
I do want to see it
But
really
yeah,
bad.
it does have a different ending, so that's cool. Do you have a question for me?
I do have
Mr.
a question
Ben?
for you. I just need to find one thing really quick.
Wow. Are they lovers? Worse. Yes. True.
Here's a question for you.
Yes.
Is there anything else that Joe could have done to make this right?
I think he went overboard, to be honest.
In what
with
way?
you. I think him being in solitary is not constructive. There's no point in doing that. I feel like he's, to be honest with you, I think he's having like a little bit of a pity party for himself.
I mean,
I think he is. Like, I think, to be honest with you, like, the reality is like, I think what he did after was right. Like, give her the money, give her the opportunity to think that you were just like a fluke that like, and she'll forget about you soon and like whatever.
that's what he did.
It's painful and whatever, but then you just move and like you live your life and you try to be a better person.
What
than you
life
were.
does he have?
He doesn't. He has to start over, but she doesn't have one either. She has no family. She has no OD.
I mean, she has a career.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to start over. I don't know. Like, it's just a tricky thing. Like, I feel like it's terrible, but he didn't know what he was doing at all. So, like, it's just like one of those things where
Ignorance of the law does not give you.
No, but I would say that it's not ignorance. It would be like if you like sleptwalk and you murdered somebody.
You still murdered somebody.
You actually wouldn't go to jail for
Are
that.
you kidding me?
Yeah. Because if you can prove that, you're
Communist.
unconscious. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not conscious. That's crazy.
If you drink and drive and black out and run somebody down and
but
kill
you
them,
purposely did that. That's like
You went to sleep.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's like saying someone was like, "Well, you went to sleep. You knew their risks. You took
Prosecution
those-
stands,
you should've-
baby."
You should have handcuffed
You
yourself
knew
to your
the
bed.
risks.
You handcuffed yourself
How
to your
dare you
bed.
fall asleep? You knew the risks.
I'm going to end you with a pop quiz because I thought it would be a better one and it would be a nice one to end with.
Pop off.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
The title of the pop quiz is Maximus Maximus.
Maximus Decimus Meridius?
Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is blank. The best revenge is A, vanquishing your enemy's entire bloodline.
No way.
The best revenge is B, to be wiser than your enemy. The best revenge is to C, be unlike your enemy. Or D, the best revenge is to befriend your enemy.
Dang. Okay. Instantly A's off the table. That's not the Marcus Aurelius I know.
Okay. That's not the mark we know.
That's
You
not
know
the
what I'm
mark we
saying?
know.
Yeah.
The one that says be different than your enemy, I don't like that one.
Okay.
So it's either be wiser or befriend your enemy. I think it's befriend your enemy.
You're wrong.
Of course.
But out of all of the other options on other than the right one, that's the only one that is an actual one. That is actually the real quote of that is the best way to vanquish an enemy is to befriend them. That is a quote from Sun Tzu, who wrote The Art of War.
See? I'm well read.
Marcus Aurelius wrote, the best revenge is to be unlike him who has
Unlike
performed the injury. Anger always outlasts hurt. That's what I'll leave everybody with.
I would like to read some of his
I have a book
writings
of
and
his.
teachings. That
Yeah.
would be really cool.
Meditations, yeah. But that's what I'll leave you with. An eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole
Very true.
basic premise of the movie.
I mean,
No one won.
highest
Nobody
of high
won.
keys, yeah.
And the thing is like if you think about it, like everyone won but nobody won.
Yeah.
Adrian won but died and killed himself, and I wouldn't say he won. After that, Joseph won $20 million of diamonds, didn't win.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Literally
he
nobody
even got
won.
released, didn't win.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
It's
Marie
like,
kind of
yeah.
won, but at the same time, like, not really.
No, yeah, like so it's like it's just it was
gosh.
like we talked about earlier. The Korean, not that this is a Korean movie, but the Korean storyline, it's heavy. It's
so
always
devastating.
raw.
Yeah.
And I think raw is always the most relatable. It's like any like immersive actor, Daniel Day-Lewis, anybody like that gets like really intense with their emotions. Christian
It's
Bale, Edward Norton,
method actor.
Yeah, like anyone like that. Like those aren't what people always, I feel like, gravitate toward most because it's raw. It's like it feels the most real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like there's a ton of Korean movies that do that.
For real.
But that's it.
There
What
we
is
go.
on the docket for the next time? Monsieur Ben?
Next episode, which is coming out on December 2nd.
Kicking off the Christmas spirit.
What happened? Oh, I thought I got rid of it. It's not really Christmassy because the movie is called Jungle. Tell us a little bit about Jungle.
Jungle is actually a true story. It is with Sir Daniel Radcliffe. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
It is about an immigrant that is basically trying to look for adventure. He goes to another country that has a jungle, and basically, he makes new friends and runs into old travel friends, and they basically go. They have this grandiose idea to go on like this incredibly long, like challenging hike because they're basically like. Some are experienced hikers, some are not. The thing that's also a true story that's interesting is the guy. So they, when you're in another country like that and you do that, you hire a guide. Like you don't just do that. Yeah, like because So they hire this man. That it's like your typical woodsman. He carries a machete. Like he's like their guide, but that guy is a real guy. He was a criminal, and he would. Like in real life, he would take tourists out there, and then he would leave them out there to die.
Yikes.
Yeah. But anyways, that's actually not what happens. So I'm just saying that because I knew that wouldn't ruin anything. But it actually was after the fact that he did that. But he doesn't do that in the movie. technically. It's more of just like everybody kind of gets separated and dealing with their own things, and it gets really gnarly really quickly. It's very entertaining. It's very thrilling.
Okay.
It's good. It's very, very good, and I would recommend it. Is it streaming on anything?
Let me look that up really quick. Sorry, Melissa's texting me with a bunch of Apple issues that she's having, and they're like way above my head, so I'm trying to do both right now. Oh, gosh. IMDb. Django. You ever see the movie Jungle to Jungle?
Jungle to Jungle?
Yeah.
Yeah, many times.
Love that movie.
It's with Tim Allen?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Django. Who else is in this movie? Oh, this is streaming on everything. Prime, Fawsome, Freevee, Roku channel, everywhere, dog.
I have Freevee. For the obscures. It's free.
Yeah.
It's free V. It's free video. It's free real estate.
Jungle.
Yeah, but how many stars did it get? 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb. That's pretty
How did
good.
you see that? Oh, it's right there.
It
Only got a
is-
48 Metascore, but that doesn't really.
It's about 2 hours long, 155. So
hour 55. It's rated R, guys.
But I would highly recommend it. It's really good. It's just something new. We're trying to break it up, so it's good to do.
Where's the parents' guide?
Derek,
Oh, this is great.
my barber, he was talking about movies that he might like. I think he would be into this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, another one. If you're interested in nature stuff, anybody, if you're into nature stuff and you are interested in like a thriller, horror, kind of thing, I always recommend the movie The Edge. It is with Anthony Hopkins and
We've watched that
Alec
so
Baldwin.
many times.
It's a
It's
really,
so
really, really good movie. It's intense. It's about these men that get lost in Alaska, basically, and are hunted by a grizzly bear, and it's really intense.
Grizzly bear.
They use a real grizzly bear, and the only other movie that they do that is, I think, the movie Grizzly. I don't remember, but and it's also a gnarly movie. Sala is in that movie, Grizzly.
I love that you call him Sala.
He is that only to me.
John Rhys Davis.
Yep, there you go. Anyways, thank you for listening, everybody. Watch that Jungle movie, especially because it's streaming on everything before we talk about it. That way you can catch up, be on the same page. And,
I promise after Jungle, we wrap up the season on a high note, okay?
Yeah.
We're not going to be watching any more spooky, scary thrillers after that.
True. So,
I'm excited. The rest of the season, I'm really excited about.
I'm
We
excited,
have 3
too.
episodes coming out in December, guys.
I'm excited too. All right. Well,
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
No.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Auf Wiedersehen. Merry Christmas. Goodbye, everybody.
Merry Christmas. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. Happy Thanksgiving.